I just like what buildings can tell you. I like what they can tell you about the place they're in, why they were made, how they were changed, how they were expanded.
A pattern on a brick or a cement joint could reveal a whole series of historical events and the people who worked in them. It's fascinating stuff.
Looking around different places in Middlesbrough that have architectural interest, these have character, you know, they're being built with care and love.
Even though Middlesbrough is somewhere that doesn't have the longest of built histories, you know, the town's founded 1829, there's still plenty of buildings that have changed a lot and tell enough of a story to give us an idea of what's happened here in the past. A nice place to start, actually, just right outside the Masham, because there are sort of a number of things we always start off doing. One is maybe looking at some historic maps and getting an idea of how the street form has mutated over time. In the case of somewhere like Middlesbrough, it's more of a game of what actually came first and how did the town develop outwards? What did those earlier buildings look like? So I brought you down here because this is really a brick skills test, effectively, for us. Often the fabric that tells the story of the buildings is not necessarily what you see on the front. When you look at the brickwork, you can see lots of different patterns and lots of different changes in it. So we look at the size of the bricks, the colours of the bricks, the mortars, the pointing, as well as how they're laid and how they're patterned. So this is quite a nice corner to contemplate this top end of Zetland Road. Middlesbrough's possibly most important building, which is Webb House, the office block built for Bell Brothers by Philip Webb, who was a leading London architect of his time and very well thought of nationally and internationally. We're here in Exchange Place. This part of Middlesbrough saw a huge amount of construction and indeed even reconstruction in the 1870s. And this is all, I think, part of this expansion of Middlesbrough. There's a number of commercial developments that are done, principally by this architect called William Henry Blessley, and 2 to 4 Exchange Place is one of these. It's a little bit of an essay in designing a building that looks as if it's all built at once, but was it actually built at once? We have arrived at what most of you will know as Teesside Archives, but it was not built as that. This is the first post office that has a permanent base owned by the government in Middlesbrough. And of course, this is a post office, you need a sorting office, and we've got one of those round the back, so we'll go and wander that way. So basically, this is the sorting office, which is the 2-storey back wing. The practicalities of 1913, which is hefting great big sacks of mail in and out of this building at many different levels. We've got great big steel joist coming out for a hoist. And if you look at the pattern of the blocked openings, the ones with the 2 concrete ledges appear to be loading doors, so you could swing things in at that sort of level. What I wanted to look at actually here was what on earth is going on just here at the liquor vaults, because it's, as you can see, a building that has clearly been much altered. Roof lines are all over the place, strange looking parapets. So it's a building that's clearly undergone a lot of change. Turns out this is the Grand Hotel, originally the Queen's Hotel, which was a really big station hotel in prime position right in front of the station. What we do know is that there was the 1942 bombing raid on Middlesbrough that destroyed the station. It also took out this and the rest of the Grand Hotel, which came substantially this way. And so actually we really have a vestigial bit of Grand Hotel now, and not at all the scale of the structure that that once was. But you see, you can tell from what's left of the fabric, just the scale of it and what it might have felt like.
The main thing that you learn is to look up, looking for the joins in buildings, the subtle changes to the features. It's nice to see members of the public sort of enjoying this kind of thing, encouraging a bit of pride in the area.
You do look at these buildings and then you're thinking, oh, I wonder why that happened. And you don't have to know about engineering or anything. It's just interesting and it puts a bit more of the story about that building.
For me, it doesn't matter at all what sort of building it is. I'm as interested in a house as I am an office or a warehouse. And I know we're not talking about some sort of medieval building and how it's changed over time, but the same rules apply. Every building has a story to tell.